What's up, guys? It's Dynasty from the Mountaintops. I'm Mickey, along with Jimmy and Jeremy. Jeremy, since you were actually on time, how are you today?
I am doing swell. Thank you for giving me first ask. It made my day even better.
Jim, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm so pissed right now. I can't even acknowledge it because you didn't ask me first. So keep going.
All right, so enough with the pleasantries, apparently. We're getting right into it today. Is one thing I've been really looking forward to, the last 3 years mock draft. And we'll explain how this is going to work here. So we have last 3 year mock draft, 10 players. We're going to create our best team in Superflex. So we have a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a super flex, and then 2 flexes, which can be anything except for quarterback. And we're playing tight end premium, half point, and PPR. And I think that's everything.
I think you're good, Nick.
Jeremy, since you were on time, we gave you the number 1 pick overall. So you were on the clock. Last 3 years, this is 24, 23, and 22.
All right, I'm going to go Brock Bowers first overall. Tight end premium. I'm going to grab the best in the business, the youngest in the business. He is everything that he was supposed to be last year, and then some. Hit records that Puka Nacua imagined of. And tight end premium right on the spot. I'm taking Brock Bowers with the first overall.
All right, perfect. That was my number 2 overall pick. So you let me have the best player in this draft, Jaden Daniels, as the number 2 quarterback overall. No matter what, Superflex league, you got to have a quarterback. So I'm taking Jaden number 1 overall, or number 1 pick for me.
He's cute. Jaden Daniels is currently QB3 on Fantasy Pros in the Dynasty ranking, so that makes a lot of sense.
All right, Jim, you're up with number 3. This is where it actually gets interesting, I think.
I think I have to take Malik Neighbors. Quarterback-wise, I don't know if there is one.
I get that pick. I 100% understand Malik Neighbors right there.
Okay, I'm thinking quarterback, but I think there's some guys that the last couple of years of quarterbacks have been rough, so I think I'm going to go with running back, and I'm going to go Bijan Robinson.
So you're on the clock, Nick.
I am, and I'm taking who I think is the best running back, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Crap. Okay, so I'm on the clock. I'll take a quarterback. I'm going to take Bo Nix.
Over like Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Based off of present time, I need to go by what I've seen, and I like a lot more from Bo Nix than Caleb Williams. He sounds attractive. He sounds like he got potential. We got Ben Johnson there, but based off of last year, I saw him get sacked 688 times, and I'm taking Bo Nix when there's Sean Payton.
All right, you're up again, my man.
Yeah, following that, I am going to take a chain running back, Miami.
One of my favorite players in the league, sir. Well done. All right, so Jeremy, I can't believe you didn't take this guy.
I know who you're going to take.
I can't believe you didn't take Brian Thomas Jr., brother. Yeah, we'll take BTJ since you took A-Chan from me.
It's okay. I took A-Chan.
And actually, I had him number 5 on my list anyway, so we're good.
And I actually have him in a real league, and you're not getting him. Ever.
I realized that. That's why I wanted them here. At least I get them somewhere. Jim, you're up, brother.
Okay. I'm going to go with Puka because I think he's been the best producing receiver.
Devontae doesn't scare you?
I mean, he's old, and I mean they've fed 2 receivers for years there, so I'm not too worried.
All right, that's fair. I was just curious. And you're up again.
Yep, I'm gonna go with. I think he still had a really good year, and I think he's gonna be huge in year 2. I'm gonna go with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Like it.
Good pick. Well, since you let me have my 1 and 2 quarterback, I'll just take Drake May. So Jeremy, you're up.
It speaks of how bad the 22 and 23 classes. I don't know if I can name a quarterback out of those 2 years.
There's one.
Stroud, but he had a touchdown year.
Yeah, he was my number 4 quarterback. Bo Nix was.
He's actually the one I'm taking right now. Actually,
Stroud.
So that he'll be my. I'll throw him in my super flex. So I got 2 quarterbacks here. I could use some wide receiver help at the second pick. So let me go with. I think I know. Let me double check because just to make sure that my actual lists are correct. Yeah, I'm gonna go Drake London.
Nice pick. And
Thanks, sir.
That was the beginning of the 5th round?
Yeah, that was round 5, pick 1.
Okay. I believe I need a tight end.
Yeah, I'm the only one that took one.
Yep. So Trey McBride's mine. And then Jimmy, you can have leftovers.
Okay, that's great. I can wait then. I might as well just secure my quarterbacks. So I'll take Caleb Williams. I think with Ben Johnson, there's a lot of new hype around him, so I'm excited. I think his value is kind of boosted back up. And I might as well take another one. So I'm going to go with Brock Purdy.
Pretty neat.
I think he's a solid super flex quarterback. Not sexy, but he gets the job done. He'll put out.
That's
just
top
like
6
me.
quarterbacks, so that makes sense.
You are sexy, though. That's the difference.
I disagree, but I'll take the compliment.
What, that you're sexy, or those were the top 6 quarterbacks?
The sexy part.
All right. I did not pay attention to what I need, so give me 1 second.
You should be making a list like I am.
Yeah,
I know,
then you got to check.
Jimmy was the least prepared, and he's ready more than you.
Hey, look at this. I've been keeping track.
Well done. I've been keeping track of everybody's picks, not just mine. That's the funny part.
I don't know why.
You're not keeping track of everybody's. You didn't keep track of yours.
Yeah, that's all I got to do.
Very true. Very, very true. All right. So I do need a wide receiver, so I'll take JSN.
JSN, I like it.
Not worried that Cooper Kupp does exactly
thing.
what he does well.
Yeah, same thing though. He's the younger guy. Cooper's not going to be there very long, so he's on his last leg. I think he'll be fine. More, I'm worried about Sam Darnold, which is why he wasn't higher. But we'll see what happens there. Ackman, you're up.
Yeah. Let's go with Breece Hall, running back, New York Jets.
So we're going to go through the teams real quick before we continue.
Somebody grab Hall?
What's that?
Somebody grab Breece Hall?
No, you're good. But I didn't want you to say the next pick. That's all.
Okay.
So
end of round. I think you're doing end of round 6.
Yeah, end of round 6. We're gonna say our teams here. If you guys want to talk about yours,
we have 2 more picks. We just do our final 2 picks, then do it.
We have 3 more picks.
4 more.
I have 2 more. I just need a running back and tight end.
Quarterback, 2 running back,
Yeah.
3 wide receivers,
Yeah.
tight end, super flex,
2 flex,
and a flex. 2 flex.
Oh, 2 flex?
Yeah.
So I have 4 left.
Yeah, there's 4 left.
Okay, I want a flex.
Thank you.
So Ackman, if you want to start, you can go over your team real quick.
I'll go. Okay, so in my current position here, I have Bo Nix as my starting quarterback. Starting running backs are Achane and Hall, Breece Hall. I have 1 wide receiver right now of Drake London. I grabbed Brock Bowers with the 1st overall. And my super flex quarterback is CJ Stroud.
All right, Jim, how about you, man? We'll talk about them real quick, or we can wait until the end to do that. That's up to you.
We can talk at the end. I like the end.
Okay.
I got Caleb Williams and Brock Purdy as my quarterbacks. I got Neighbors, Puka, and Marvin Harrison Jr. With Bijan Robinson as my starting running back. I feel pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good team. I got Jaden Daniels, Jameer Gibbs, Brian Thomas Jr., Drake May, Trey McBride, and JSN. All right, we're going to get back into it. Ackman, you are up with the 7th round.
I am going to draft Jamison Williams. Jamo for short, Detroit Lions.
All right. That was a surprise, so I have to think for a second. We'll take Bucky Irving. We were just talking about him off air, so
yeah,
fresh in my mind. We'll take him. Like that in the 7th round.
And then I'll go with Chase Brown.
You jerk! You did it on purpose.
I did. And I'll go with the hype. I don't know how I feel, but based off of, I think it's either this year or he's out. But I'm gonna go with Garrett Wilson.
All right. That leaves me with a very difficult decision between two first-year guys. I have them ranked differently, but I like the one player better. So we'll go with Roma Dunze.
Like it.
Oh, that's not who I would have expected you to pick.
I'm interested to hear who you thought I was going to pick.
I can say it. I'm all I need is a tight end left, so I won't be drafting him.
Huh?
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Bad McConkey.
Oh, yeah, he was the other one I was thinking of. But I love Brown.
All right, is it me, round 7?
Yes.
Round 8, but yeah.
Yes. I'm going to go running back, Los Angeles Rams, Kyron Williams.
I was wondering if someone was going to take him.
I will. And with the following pick.
This is round 9.
I'm going to take my last wide receiver slot, Jaden Reed.
Ooh.
Michigan State Spartan.
Funny, after you just acquired him too.
No, I just shipped him.
You traded him already?
I traded him. I never got him. I traded him.
Oh no, never mind. It was Zay Flowers.
No. You're thinking of something else. Yeah, you're thinking of the Flowers.
Or could have been the alternate reality or universe.
Yes, the flippity flop. But we're good. Yeah, I'm taking Reed.
Which, if we have time, I'd love to talk about some trades. But with my pick,
if your wife would accept one, we could talk that.
Yeah, she's not pulling the trigger yet. She wants a good deal for him because they expect a lot out of those two this year. So,
so she's telling you no before she told me no.
I live with her. Yeah, we talk. Anyway, moving on. Just to make Jimmy have to think a little bit, I'm going to use my flex position on tight end.
Don't do it.
Sam LaPorta.
Oh, I thought I could wait.
Don't wait. Don't wait or you get snatched, brother.
Oh, Kincaid is meh. Kraft is meh. Pitts might be too old.
I think it's Kraft or Kincaid, homie.
Yeah, it probably has to be. I'm gonna go with Kincaid.
By the way, I'm loving this. His team he was like, I'm super excited. I don't have to worry about anything. Oh, wait, what?
I'm a little distracted by the husband-wife collusion that's going on in our league. But
there's no collusion. We talk like anybody else would talk about a trade. No collusion whatsoever.
So Jeremy, what you need to do in the future is you just need to create a 3-way chat to include Nikki in all your discussions with his wife.
Or I just eliminate both of them.
I mean, you could, but that's your prerogative. That means you only have 11 people to trade with. Jimmy, did you take your last pick?
Yeah, Kincaid.
And?
That's it. My roster's full.
Did you take 2?
No.
You have 9.
Yeah.
We have 10.
You're supposed to have 10.
You told me there was only one extra flex.
No, there's
2 flex.
So I have a super flex and a flex and another flex?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
This is what happens when people don't pay attention. Or read.
So true.
Go ahead, Jim.
Did someone take Lam McConkey?
Not yet, no.
Okay, I'll take Lam McConkey. Done.
I thought you guys were really going to let me have it. Even though I was going to pick him 2 rounds ago. Again, just because I like him better than the rest of them, we will go with Jordan Addison to fill out my roster. And for the final pick, sir.
George Pickens.
Oh, I didn't think he was going to make it. All right, so now that we have those teams set, we want to go through and kind of talk about each team real quick.
Sure.
We have a little bit of time. So, Jim, since you had the last pick in the first round, we'll give you the first opportunity to talk about your team.
Yeah.
And also, we want to make sure there's time for everybody. So
clearly tight end's going to be a weak spot now because someone was a jerk. But I feel good. I mean, I think I have 3 stud receivers, Neighbors, Puka, Marvin Harrison, and then I think Bijan and Chase complement each other very well. And I don't have any running quarterbacks, so I don't have a lot of upside with Caleb and Brock, but I think they're, very consistent guys that, they're good QB top 12 guys. I think good seasons are upon them. And then with Garrett Wilson, Lab and Conkey in my flex, like Garrett's the one that I think the jury's still out on him of how good he is. And I think the quarterback he's one of the cases where like talent usually can overcome quarterback play, but for whatever reason hasn't there. So I'll be curious what he looks like this year with Justin Fields, who another, below average passer. Curious, but I like my team. I think I have good upside with some good floor as well.
All right. I like it. Jeremy, you have anything to say about his team?
No, I do like his. I think his strong spots is wide receiver 3. I think he got a good solid wide receiver trio.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I like his wide receivers the best as well. He is obviously lacking in tight end because I'm a genius. And quarterback is a little bit lacking out of the 6 that were picked. But other than that, man, running backs are fine and wide receivers are stacked. So, nice. Jeremy, you want to go next?
Sure. Got Bo Nix. I'm happy with that. I think he can only go up. I like my cornucopia of wide receivers. You got London, who's pretty much like an everyday wide receiver 1. You got Jama, who can burn you deep, and you got Reed, who can play pretty much anything in the inside of the field. A little bit of a reach, but I'm glad I got Brock Bowers here and a tight end premium, especially with the slim pickings of tight ends. I kind of like I said, I got a Kyron at my 1 flex and Pickens at another, so I got a nice mix of running back and wide receiver. Probably should have went Daniels first overall, but I panicked with not being able to acquire Chase and having my years wrong. But nevertheless, I'm pretty content with the team.
I was shocked when he didn't take Daniels, but I
panicked. I got my years wrong. I had everything all lined up.
I had Bowers already ready to be drafted number 2, so I just flipped by 1 and 2, and I was good. It wasn't I drafted someone crazy.
I got breaking news.
I was just about to say it as well, so go ahead, bud.
Okay, no, you're good to go for it, man. You're the MC.
You said it, you go.
Russell Wilson signed a 1-year deal with the New York Giants. $21 million deal, $10.5 million guaranteed. So it pretty much sounds inevitable that Jimmy's favorite quarterback is going to be on his favorite team.
But on the other side, I like what the Giants did. They signed Winston and Russell Wilson, so I like what they're doing.
With Winston and Russell Wilson, you think they draft Sanders?
No.
I think that means they can go best player available at, 2 or 3, and then they can. I would definitely pick a developmental guy, but the problem is that 3rd string guy won't get a lot of reps during the week. So you can make the case that this is where I wish, NFL teams would come call me, because you have a coach who's desperate to win, you have a GM who's desperate to win. So what are they doing? They're patchworking quarterback play instead of drafting one probably, and trying to win 6-8 games to save their jobs versus what's doing best for the organization.
That's a great point. I do think they might take quarterback in their 2nd round pick if they have one. I'm assuming they do. And also, this is a better quarterback than they had last year. So whether it's for the future or not, right now they have to save their job. I agree with you. I just think they're so front focused right now in a division that they have no chance on winning, probably taking last again. So it's an interesting call, but does this do anything for Malik Neighbors fantasy wise? Up, down, sideways? What do you think?
Honestly, I liked Winston better when he signed there.
Yeah, agreed.
Me too, because he makes the number one look incredible. Yeah. No matter.
I think either way is great. I think it's just once again, this is what I'm worried about is just like Garrett Wilson. Is this? I mean, Neighbors was kind of an anomaly last year. It didn't really matter who the quarterback was; he still performed. But he went through a stretch where he had a rough patch. But at the same time, they're not going to draft the guy this year, which I would expect them maybe not to, or a later flyer just to see. But these are all 1-year deals, so they're gonna keep that quarterback position murky year for another year or two, and that's what makes Chase elite. That's what makes Justin Jefferson up until this point elite. Is Amon St. Brown is that they've had their quarterback that raises their ceiling. Where at this point you have to lower Malik Neighbors' ceiling for the next couple of years because you don't know what they're doing.
Right, and I do have a question. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Do they have a second round pick? The Giants.
They didn't make raise last year, so I'm not sure, but.
But so anyway, if they do, I don't be surprised if they're one of those teams that try to trade back into the first round for like the Eagles or the Chiefs or someone like that, to get the third, fourth quarterback off the board for the future, and then now they can go and get a piece they actually do need for this year in the third pick. So
I will bump in here. They have a first, a second, they have a first, a second, 2 thirds, a fourth, and a fifth. They have the third overall, the third overall, the 34th overall, and the 65th overall.
So that's just my educated guess. Is I think they trade back into the first round to get a quarterback at the end of the first round for the future. So they don't. Because the quarterbacks are watered down this year, but we'll see.
The breaking news kind of disrupted us, but you have a team that you would like to discuss.
Yeah, well, now it doesn't matter. Real football is more important. So, okay. And do you guys really want to hear how bad your teams are compared to mine, really? No, I'm just kidding. So for quarterback, I took Jaden Daniels as my first pick. Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Thomas Jr., Drake May, Trey McBride, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Bucky Irving, Sam Laporta as a get Jimmy upset pick. That was fun. That was probably my favorite pick. Roman Dunze and Jordan Addison to round it out. So dissect all you would like.
Your team sucks.
Yeah, you're over exaggerating.
Whatever you say, bro.
I think Laporta was your little worst pick.
It probably was, honestly, but he was the best available on my team or on my list.
He's better than the other. I mean, out of the tight ends that were available in the situation, you made the right call, especially knowing Jimmy was going to take him next.
I mean, he waited, and I had to take him.
I was okay with Garrett and Chase Brown, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was excited to see who you were going to take as your tight end after that. Because it falls apart after Laporta.
That's the tight end position in general.
Well, that's what I mean. Those are the top 3 tight ends, and then after that, it's like that's why everyone's saying Warren's going to be so good, and Colston Loveland might be so good because there's no one else.
Yeah, but all these tight ends came in with this type of hype. That's what I'm saying. Like 3, 4, 5 tight ends each class come in with this type of hype. Mm-hmm. Everybody was all over Kincaid, and now he was arguably one of the worst ones out of that list. So again, it's all hype. It's all hype.
But that's how you take advantage in Dynasty.
Damn straight.
I still believe in Kincaid, by the way, but they just won't throw him the ball.
I'm not saying he's a bum, but you guys are all wincing at the fact of taking Kincaid when 3 years ago everybody was trading 3 firsts for him. So it's just crazy.
It's a very good point. We really wanted to do something different than we normally do, just to kind of introduce the draft, do a different kind of draft, because the next month and a half is straight up draft focused. We got quarterbacks and tight ends next week. We got running backs the following week, wide receivers the week after that, all talking about rookies. And then it's draft. We preview the full draft and then talk about the draft afterwards. And I'm pumped. This is my favorite time of year when it comes to football, just because where are all these players going? You know what I mean? It's dynamic. So with that, unless you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about. Oh, Jeremy, you had a trade this week. I know that. Do you want to talk about that at all? What the process?
No, we can do the next one because we're good.
Okay. We'll talk about that next week maybe then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jim, you didn't talk enough, I don't think. So do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I think this is just, I mean, the listeners out there, this is the time when I would not be sitting on my hands. I'd be working behind the scenes. I'd be moving about. We talk about tiers a lot. So what are your tiers? What, you're trying to move into? You're trying to trade back. So I know this class feels deep. I'd be trying to get into this class if I were someone on the outside looking in, because this feels like a very good class for, running backs and tight ends ish. So I'd be jumping in. I'd be being active. This is, like I said, Dynasty never sleeps. So the next 35, 40 days, I'm grinding. I'm sending messages, trying to move around, spending picks, acquiring picks. So this is one of my more active stretches, I would say, because then after the draft, then you go ahead and go back into hibernation till training camp. So I'd be taking advantage of this time.
Absolutely.
I'm trying.
Don't sleep on the wide receivers in this draft. They might not be as big as the draft last year. However, these wide receivers are going to be relevant in fantasy, I believe, as well.
I will say, I think that
they're deep, very, very deep.
And I think we've talked about this before, but this class is, we knew who we were getting the first round last year. Like this year, I think it's tough. This year's I'm waiting more on the NFL draft to solidify my tiers. Because we need to know where these running backs are going, where some of these wild card receivers are going, even some of these tight ends. So this is a tricky year. By now I've always made a few trades trying to move around, and this year I'm I don't know how far to trade back. I don't know how far to trade up. I know we said this before, but I'm really struggling this year. So if anyone out there wants to reach out about moving around, let me know, because I don't really know what I'm doing yet.
Yeah, I mean it's a jumbled mess in the middle. Like I said, I have Genty, I have Pet, maybe Cam, I guess, because of where his stock's going to be. But after that, it is a jumbled mess in the next 20 picks probably. And I can't wait for the draft to kind of figure out where everyone's going to be. And that's really where we're going to be able to see where the value is in the picks moving forward. So there's going to be a lot of movement, I'm sure, right after the draft, NFL draft, and right before your fantasy draft. That's the big movement time. But right now, you want to get in place and be able to get set for that time moving forward. So I 100% agree with you there, Jim. Jeremy, anything else?
No, you guys covered it extensively. We're good.
Of course we did. Since there's nothing else for us today, again, I had fun doing this with you guys, something different for us than what we normally talk about, process, things like that. So for Jimmy and Jeremy, I'm Mickey. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, as well as email us. And all of that is dynastymttops. The email is @gmail.com. And check us out on YouTube, Podbean, and Apple. Other than that, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you later. Again, for Jimmy and Jeremy, I'm Mickey. This has been Dynasty from the Mountaintops. Have a great evening.
Yep.